Hello, welcome back to 3D Drawing 3 Model Railway. In the last lesson we converted the second of the bodies so that it's got all this lattice work. While looking at some of the photos, I've started to think about adding some details on here. And I've noticed on both the two versions that we've done, they've got these like little beams here that I have no idea what they're there for. They don't seem to have any use, but they might well do. So I thought I'd add those in and show you how you can go back, even though we've got two bodies here, go back in the history, add them in, and then obviously it'll be on both bodies. So all we've got to do is bring the history back here. We're going to scroll this history back to before we copied those bodies. And then that should remove that initial body. Actually, wait a minute. Let's go a bit further forwards. Let's check that. Further forwards than that, I think, still. Yeah, there it is. Yeah, so it is this copy here. So we're going to come back before that copy. We're just going to add them in. Now, as I say, they just look like a couple of I-beams here, so you can draw one of them and then mirror it across, really. And they look like they're on the inside of this frame here. So just going to create a sketch on the surface here. I can turn that 3D sketch off so that it can then orientate back where it should be. And we're just drawing, I would say, a rectangle shape. You can see the front of it's level with the front of the handrails there. So I'm just going to grab a shape, come slightly off that pipe there. Selected the midpoint. I actually want to just have it closer to the front of it, so about that position there. And I'm going to go for, let's say, 2mm by 1.5mm, I think. Let's define its position so that it's all locked in. So 1.4 inside, and I'm going to define that edge to the hole that we've got there, 3.25. Okay. And then I'm going to extrude this upwards, so if we rotate this round. And I'm just going to drag it up. Try and work out how tall it is, so it's probably about 18 inches or so, I would say. So that's about 3mm. Does it look about halfway up? No, it's not. It's nowhere near. I'm actually going to bring that down then. I'm probably actually going to go about 2mm, so it's about a foot, I reckon. Okay, so looking at the design now, it does look like an I-beam with like a cap on. Now you could have just drawn an I-beam shape here. All I'm going to do is just use rectangles on the front here, like this. And I'm going to find that distance as 0.3. That's the same as 0.3. And I think 0.3 will be sufficiently thick enough that it should print okay. And then we're going to extrude that. I'm just going to take it back into the body, about 0.5 I think. Happy with that, so I'm going to then do the same on the other side. Now you could put a mid-plane in here and mirror it over. I think that's just going to be just as quick. We can just draw on the back and define that again. And then again, extrude by -0 into it, so we've got the shape there. Okay, and then we need to do a mirror. Select features, select those features there, so that one, and that one. And then mirror plane, we're going to use plane 1 because that's the mid plane and wagon. That puts it into that position there. And then when we skip back through the history, it will then automatically copy it onto all of the parts that we've done so far. Yeah, it's a nice little addition onto that. Obviously it's not doing on this one because that's further back, and I'm not concerned about that one at the moment, it's just these two. So we've got that little box beam there drawn, quite happy with that one. So the next thing I'm going to do is this hole that's on here, and we know that it's in the midpoint of the tapered off end here, so again this should be a nice easy little fix. We just bring that scroll back before the copy, okay, and then we can see this is where our little tapered part is. So again we're going to create a sketch on the top surface there, use a circle. You can see it picks up the midpoint there, we just drag it to the end. Okay, I'm going to go for about 1.5 millimeters, I think. I'm just going to select midpoint, see if that'll midpoint to this one. Yes, it will. So that's now horizontally vertically constrained there. So I shouldn't be able to change that at all. No, it's letting me. Doesn't matter. 17.9, I reckon, would be fine. Okay, and then if we just extrude that hole all the way through, we've got a cut, so we've got the hole there now. And again, same as before, that will automatically copy across onto the other wagon. Just wondering whether that might be a little bit too big on there. I might just make that a little bit smaller. I'm going to go back into the sketch. We did 1.5, so I'm going to reduce that down to 1 millimeter. Make it a little bit smaller. It'll skip back to the end there once I click on OK. Yeah, I think that's better. I prefer the look of that. How's it look on there? Yeah, that's fine. It looks like it's slightly offset, but that's because this plate hangs over slightly. So I'm happy with that. The next thing is, now on these ones, they've got like a plate here that sits above the frame. I'm just going to draw that on, just to give it a raised section. It doesn't need to be on this one, so I can do this at the end before the copy. Sorry, after the copy. So creating a sketch on here. And if we just look at the position, it goes to that handrail. So it's got this position here. So I'm going to go draw a rectangle. I'm going to snap it to this corner point here. And I'm going to drag that line in slightly, and then I'm going to horizontal vertical, that point to the midpoint on this. That's it, and then I can extrude this. I'm just going to lift it maybe 0.1 maybe. It's only a little step. I might actually go 0.2 just to make it a little bit more pronounced. And then we're going to have the same on the end. Same on the end here. Again, drawing a sketch on this end surface. That again starts at the end of where the taper is here, so it's going to be there. And it doesn't go all the way to the end, so I'm going to draw it at that position. Fine. Find that point there. Go 0.8. And then I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to extrude that up 0.2 millimeters. So we've just got a raised section there. Yep, happy with that. You just need to mirror those two features. So again, selecting those two. The mirror plane will be plane 1. Okay, so we've got this down the end here. Everything else looks fine underneath. Okay, so the next thing I notice, all the corners of the handrails here, they've all got like a plate on them. Become more visible if you look on these ones looking down. Got like a little circular, semicircular, quarter circle plate on them. So if we come into Fusion, we can draw that. Actually, we'll have to do a offset plane first. Yeah, that's fine. We're going to bring that up by 6 millimeters. I'm going to draw on that surface here. And then it's just going to be an arc really from these 2 points. So if we project that circle and that circle, we should be able to, I think, just do a trying to work out which one. I think it'll be a tangent arc. From there. Let's try from the other one. It might be better to do 3-point arc actually. So go there. Click, so there to there, there we go. Trying to work out how to get this. There, if we go, this is how we can do it. If we do a line from there to there, and then a line from there to there, then we do tangent that to that line, and that to that line, then it's the tangent arc. Okay, how do we close this off? So we can draw a line like this. Doesn't have to be perfect because I'm going to do an extrusion, as long as it's within the, sort of the midpoint there. I'll do that symmetrically. Oh, actually, we might need to bring, yeah, we can bring the offset plane down slightly. And 0.25. Bring that down. 5.8. Yeah, that puts that in the midpoint. Ooh, we don't want that. Go back into the sketch, edit the sketch. Why is that doing that? Okay, yeah, of course. Finish that. Go back into the extrusion, edit the feature, and make sure you select, hold down, select that profile and that profile, and that'll fill those gaps in. Yeah, excellent, that's what I'm after. So we've got that there. So we now need to mirror that across these 4. So we can do mirror and select the feature, select the mid plane to plane 1, and then do the same, do mirror, and select those 2 features, the mirror and the initial drawing, mirror plane, plane 2, that puts on the other side. Okay, good, that's that done on there. We now need to get them onto this one, so we've got to do the same thing but on this wagon here. So we create a sketch, we're going to use that same offset plane that we just had, so plane 11. Again, we're going to project. Ooh, actually, this isn't going to work here, not going to work on that one. Because that's not in the same place as that. That might need to move actually. If we finish that sketch, I'm just going to go back in the history and find this railing. Edit that sketch there. Turn that body off. That's the one I'm after. So I'm going to delete that. Actually, I'm just going to change that, I think. No, delete it. Delete that. So I'm selecting the dimension there, and I'm going to redimension from that point Ooh, what's that done? Undo that. Let's fix this in position. And then we can do that dimension there to there. 2 millimeters. Have a look at this one just to make sure that's in the right place. We're locked into this point here, so that's fine. Okay, so going back to where we were originally, you're going to edit that sketch again. Draw a line. I'm sure we projected that position there, so that being projected. That circle projected. Draw a line across there, a line across there, and then we should be able to do possibly even a tangent arc now. So there to there. There we go. And then we close this in, same as before. Just going to draw a line around here, and we'll select. Make sure you get those two inner profiles again. And then we can do the extrusion. Let's rotate this round side on, get the two-sided, and then we did 0.25. That was a cut. Let's rechange that. It should be a join. Okay. And then we can just do the mirror on those as well. Feature there, selecting that feature. Mirror plane will be, it doesn't matter which order, plane 2 will be fine. It says, why is that not, that's not mirror plane on that. Okay, it does matter. So let's do that again. So we're going to do mirror, the feature, we'll do plane 1 as our mirror plane, because that won't matter. We now need to put a mid plane onto this wagon here. So create mid plane from there to there, and that is number 12. We're going to do the mirror and the extrusion, and then the mid plane was 12. So we've got them 4 corner points there. Just notice I've got to mirror the circle over here. I'm just going to jump back in the history, just going to roll back to that point, for the copy, and then mirror that across. So again, just selecting that feature, mirror plane, plane 1. Yeah, that's got it on both ends now, so we go back to the end. That's then done now then. So I think, we've done about another 20 minutes work there. We've added these extra plates on the end, little holes, and the quartz circles on all 4 of these, and the I-beams. So hopefully you're following along nicely. I think that wagon's pretty much there. I think we've just got bogey mounts to do. I was thinking about what to do with the bogies, because looking at images of the bogies, they are they're very thin frame-like, and I don't think they're going to be robust enough when they're 3D printed. I believe Farish do a bogie that's very, very similar to this on some of the old wagons. I think I might just use one of them. I think I've got one in the loft that I'm going to check to see how close it is, and then I can use that to design the mounting point. But I don't think that this will be. I don't think it'll be strong enough at all really for 3D printing, and these bits will end up getting snapped or they'll be too thick. Okay, so hopefully you've enjoyed today's episode. If you have, please like and subscribe, and thank you for watching.